These are the 5 reasons your study permit may be refused. So the first reason is proof of funds. You have to make sure that you have enough money in your bank account to support your living expenses and pay your tuition fee for the first year. So you have to calculate how much you need in your bank account based on the college you're attending classes, and also if you're applying by yourself or if you're bringing family members. So just keep in mind that the calculation for people who are going to Quebec is a little bit different. So we don't work with the province of Quebec. So just keep in mind that this is not considered for that region, but you can consider this calculation for the entire country, right? So basically you need to check the tuition fee for your college, and you also have to consider if you're coming alone or with family members. So let's say you're coming to study in Canada and the college costs $15,000 per year, and you're coming by yourself. So you need to have $15,000 for the tuition fee in your bank account, plus $10,000 in living expenses for yourself. So total of 25,000 Canadian dollars. And we always advise our clients to have a little bit more than the minimum requirement, maybe 30%. So you have some flexibility there, right? So you have the exchange rate, and you also want to make sure that the officer understands and he agrees that yes, you have enough money to pay for your expenses and tuition fee for the first year. So the second reason the immigration officer may refuse your application for a study permit is ties to your home country. So they want to make sure that you have stable employment, that you are studying. So they just want to understand how well established you are in your country, because this is very likely you will do that in Canada as well, right? So you can hold a job, you can attend classes. So make sure that you are employed when you apply for a study permit. If you're not employed right now, maybe enroll in some sort of classes or a program before you apply, because if you're not working and you're not studying, that's a big red flag in your study permit application. Your study permit application may be refused if you have an incomplete application. Make sure that you have all the documents in your application. So if you're missing, for example, your bank statements, the immigration officer is not going to ask for additional documents. So they expect you to provide all the required documentation with your application. So make sure you go over the checklist of required documents and you have included everything in your application. So one of the reasons immigration officers may refuse your visa is the program you selected. You have to make sure that you select a program that makes sense based on your background. So what I mean by based on your background, you need to explain in your study permit application why are you attending classes at this specific college or university, why did you select this program, and you have to explain why are you doing that. Do you work in the field, or maybe you're changing areas, maybe you used to work in engineering and now you want to work in IT, right? So what is the reason behind that? Why are you changing areas? So it's very important for you to write a detailed study plan. Some people call it statement of purpose letter. You have to explain why you're applying for this program and how this program will advance your career and help you get a better job in the future, right? So if you need help with this part, I highly recommend booking a consultation with us so we can review your background and give you some tips on what kind of programs you can apply, and you have higher chances of approval on your study permit application. And the fifth reason why your study permit may be refused is one of the most serious offenses that people can commit, and is what we call misrepresentation. So basically, misrepresentation is when you omit or you don't tell the truth in your application, and that includes everything. So from not including a previous visa refusal, not including your work experience, or not including education. So it's a very serious offense in Canada when you don't include that in your application. So make sure you include everything there. Just tell the truth, and you're not going to be worried about misrepresentation, because if that happens, your application will be refused and you may be banned from Canada for 5 years. So just be careful, include everything in the application, go over all the questions, understand what they're asking, and then you have great chances of approval.